Okay, Peter agrees. He puts in the tape and I curl up next to him on the sofa with my milk, which is really delicious with honey and spices, and I lose myself in the 50 Hunger Games. After the anthem, they show President Snow drawing the envelope from the second quarter quell. He looks younger but just as repellent. He reads from the square of paper in the same onerous voice he used for hours, informing that Panem in the honor of the quarter quell there will be twice as number of tributes. The editor smashed right into the reapings where name after name is called. By the time we go into District 12, I'm completely overwhelmed with the sheer number of kids going into certain years. The name's in District 12, but she still begins with ladies first. She calls out a young girl who's from the scene. You can tell by the look of it. Then I heard the name, Maisie Donna. Oh, I say, she was my mother's friend. The camera finds her in the crowd clinging onto two other girls, all blonde, definitely merchant kids. I think your mother's hooking her, says Peter quietly, and he's right, as Maisie Lee Donna bravely descends herself and heads back to the stage. I catch a glimpse of my mother at my age, and no one has exaggerated her beauty. Holding her hand, I'm weeping because another girl who looks like a Maisie Lee, but someone else I know. Madge, I say. That's her mother. She and Maisie Lee were twins or something, Peter says. My dad mentioned it once. I think of Maisie Lee's Madge's mother, Mayor Undersea's wife, who spends half her life in bed immobilised with terrible pain, shutting out the world, and I think how I never realised that she and my mother shared this connection of Madge showing up at the snowstorm to bring the painkiller for Gale, of my mockingjay pin and how it means something completely different now that I know that its former owner was Madge's aunt, Maisie Lee Donna's tribute who was murdered in the arena. Hamish's name is called last of all. It's more of a shock to see him than my mother. Young, strong, and hard to admit, but something quite a look at. His hair, dark and curly, his grey, seam eyes, bright and even then, dangerous. Oh, Peter, you don't think he killed Maisie Lee, do you? I blurt out. I don't know why, but I can't stand the thought. With 48 players, I say the odds are against it, says Peter. The chariot rides in which District 12 kids are dressed in awful cold miners' outfits, and the interviews flash by. There's little time to focus on anyone, but since Hamish is going to be the victor, we get to see the full exchange between him and Caesar Flickerman. He looks exactly the same he does in a twinkling midnight blue suit, only his dark green hair and eyelids and lips are different. So, Hamish, what do you think about the game time? 100% more competitive than usual, asks Caesar. Hamish shrugs. I don't see that makes much of a difference. They'll still be 100% as stupid as usual. So I figure my odds will be roughly the same. The audience bursts into applause, laughing, and Hamish gives them a half smile, snarky, arrogant, and indifferent. He didn't have to reach far for that, I say. Now it's the morning and the games begin. We watch from the point of view of some of the tributes as she rises up into the tube from the launch room and into the arena. I can't help but give a slight gasp. Disbelief is reflected onto the faces of the players. Even Hamish's eyebrows lift with pleasure. And although they almost immediately knit themselves back into a scowl, it's almost as breathtaking. It's the most breathtaking place imaginable. The golden cornucopia sits in the middle of a green meadow with patches of gorgeous flowers. The sky is azure blue with puffy white clouds, bright sunbirds fluttering overhead. Sunbirds flutter overhead. By the way, some of the tributes are sniffing they must smell fantastic. An aerial shot shows down that the meadow stretches for kilometres. Far in the woods, in the distance, in one direction there seems to be a woods, in the other snow-capped mountain. The beauty disorientates many of the players because when the gong sounds, most of them seem to be like they're trying to wake from a dream. Not Hamish though, he's at the cornucopia armed with weapons and a backpack of choice supplies. He heads for the woods before most of the players have even set off their plates. 18 tributes are killed in a bloodbath on the first day. Others begin to die when it becomes clear that almost everything in this pretty place, the luscious fruit dangling from the bushes, the water in the crystalline streams, even the scent of the flowers when inhaled too directly, is deadly poisonous. And only the rainwater and the food provided that the cornucopia is safe to consume. There's also a large, well-stocked career pack of 10 tributes scouring the mountains for victims. Hamish has his own troubles over in the woods when the fluffy golden squirrels turn out to be carnivores in attacking packs, and the butterfly stings bring agony if not death. But he persists in moving forward and always keeping a distant mountain on his back. Maisie only turns out to be a pretty resourceful girl himself. He leaves a cornucopia from his small backpack. Inside, she finds a bowl, some dried beef, a blowgun with 2 dozen darts, making use of the readily available poisons. She turns the blowgun into a deadly weapon by dipping the darts in lethal substances and directing them into her opponent's flesh. 4 days in, and the picturesque mountain erupts into a volcano that wipes out another dozen players, including all but 5 of the 10 career packs, with the mountain spewing liquid fire, and the meadow offering no means to conceal them. The remaining 13 tributes, including Hamish, Maisie and Maisie, have no choice but to confine themselves in the wood. Hamish seems bent on continuing into the same direction, but away from the volcanic mountain, but in Maisie's tightly woven hedges forced them to circle back into the centre of the woods, where they encounter 3 of the careers and pauses now. They may be much bigger and stronger, but Hamish has remarkable speed and will kill 2 when the third one disarms him. The career is about to slit his throat when a dart drops into the ground. Maisie Donna steps out the woods. We did long with us, just the 2 of us. Guess she just proved that, says Hamish, rubbing his neck. Allies? Maisie laughs, and there they are, instantly drawn to one of those packed to be hard to press the break through and expect to go home until she gets stripped. Just like Peter and Maisie do better together, get more rest, work out systems, salvage more rainwater and fight as a team, and share the food from the dead tributes packs. But Hamish still is determined to keep moving on. Why? Maisie keeps asking, and she ignores her until she refuses to move any further without an answer. Because it has to end somewhere, right, says Hamish. The arena can't go on forever. What do you expect to find, Maisie asked, and I don't know, but maybe there's something we could use. When they finally do make it through that impossible hedge, using the blowtorch from the dead careers packs, they find themselves on flat, dry earth that leads to a cliff far below. You can see jagged rocks. That's all there is, Hamish. Let's go back, says Maisie. No, I'm staying here. All right, there's only 5 of us left. May as well say goodbye now anyway. I don't want to come down to you and me. Okay, he agrees, that's all. He doesn't offer to shake her hand or even look at her. She walks away. Hamish skirts along the edge of the cliff and trying to figure something out. His foot dislodges a pebble and it falls into the abyss. Apparently gone forever, but a minute later, as he sits to rest, the pebble shoots back up beside him. Hamish stares at him, puzzled, but then his face becomes strange and tented. He lobs a rock the size of his fist over the cliff and waits. When it flies back, he flies out and lands right back in the tank. He starts laughing. That's when we hear Maisie begin to scream. The alliance is over and she broke it off. No one could be blamed for Hamish. And no one could blame Hamish for ignoring her. But Hamish runs for her anyway. She only arrives in time just to watch the last of a flock of candy pink birds equipped with long thin beaks skewer her through her neck. And she holds her hand while she dies. All I can think is through and how I was too late to save her. Later that day, another tribute was killed in combat, and the third gets eaten by a pack of those fluffy squirrels, leaving Hamish and a girl to want to fight for the crown. She's bigger than he is and just as fast, but when the inevitable fight comes, it's bloody and awful. And both had got lethal wounds. And when finally Hamish is disarmed, he staggers through the beautiful woods holding in his intestines, while she stumbles up and carrying the axe that could deliver his death blow. Hamish makes a beeline for his cliff and just reached the edge when she throws the axe. He collapses on the ground while it flies into the abyss, now weaponless as well. The girl stands there trying to staunch the flow of blood pouring on her empty eye socket. Now she's thinking perhaps that she could outlast Hamish, whose storm comes over on the ground. But she doesn't know, and what he does, that the axe will return, and when it flies back over the ledge, it buries itself in her head. The cannon sounds, her body's removed, the trumpets blow to announce Hamish's victory.